James, it was quite embarrassing when we finally saw on Sky today those images of those ex-Vietnam armoured vehicles with tracks on them compared to, the Hawkeyes and the Bushmasters. You can't but agree with Peter Dutton that this is a bit of an embarrassment and that he's shoveled this stuff out, and Defence has probably done it because, as we've been talking about on Sky today, if they gave out the Hawkeyes to the Ukrainians, we'd have to replace them ourselves, and there's no money in the current federal budget for that sort of defence spending.
Yeah, we look pretty silly. I mean, the vehicles we've provided, my understanding is we didn't even use them ourselves in either Iraq or Afghanistan, but we've shipped them off to the Ukraine. I think part of the problem here is that, as I understand it, our military contribution to Ukraine comes out of the existing ADF budget. So you're not going to expect the ADF to send their best stuff. They're going to send stuff that, as you said, is sitting in a shed gathering dust. They'll send that. And we've missed an opportunity here because the Ukrainians wanted the Hawkeye. It's the one piece of military equipment we manufacture in this country. So we could have done two things at the same time. We could have provided the Ukrainians with something they actually wanted, and we could have boosted manufacturing in this country. Instead, we did neither.
Yeah, I thought Peter Dutton nailed it today. Here's what he had to say about this issue.
You can't just clear out the garage from Defence of old vehicles and vehicles that you don't want anymore and dump them into Ukraine. That's not the response of a developed nation like ours. It's frankly embarrassing. The government in this garage sale of just clearing out old equipment and sending it to Ukraine has sent a very bad message. The last thing the Russians need to hear at the moment is that countries like ours are running out of interest in helping the people of Ukraine. And I think the Prime Minister should reassess.
Stephen, I wrote a column in the Herald Sun a couple of weeks ago saying that I thought Peter Dutton had lifted his game. I thought he nailed it there, and I'd be interested in getting both your viewpoints. I think Peter Dutton's changed his image. He's upped his the way he presents in the media, and I think he's really, really improved. Steve, what do you think?
Yeah, look, I think the turnaround was the budget and reply speech. I've been a bit critical of Peter Dutton leading up to that point, but I think he nailed his budget and reply speech, and since then I think he's been on point with pretty much everything. I don't know that the rest of his team is necessarily carrying their weight, but I think as a leader, Peter Dutton is really starting to score some points, and I think we're starting to see a little bit of a turnaround on the polls because of it.
James, I think his media performances is what's really improved. I mean, he's lowered the tone, but what he says, he actually thinks he's got new advisors, I don't know, but he's really hitting the mark on a lot of these hot button issues. The Voice has helped him, of course.
I think he's played a smart game. He was very quiet for, quite some time when Anthony Albanese first took the Prime Ministership, and Peter Dutton got a lot of criticism for that. Where is he? Why isn't he speaking out? But I think his strategy was to leave Anthony Albanese to his own devices. He went through that honeymoon period, and sure enough, some of Albanese's policies are now starting to stink with the electorate. And so Dutton has waited till Albanese's policies start to register as to their consequences, and now, with a slightly weakened or off-balance Prime Minister, Dutton's starting to go in with his punches and go in for the kill, and it's working very effectively for him.